The Fed's coming after me for my COVID stance of never bending a knee on any of that stuff and exposing all of their corruption. Never bending a knee on the electoral. We're going to be on CommiTube, right?
Yeah.
So I got to be careful. Or maybe I'll just nuke your account.
Please don't. Please don't.
With my First Amendment sounds.
All right, guys. The most investigated man of potentially all time, right? We got Ivan here today.
I don't know. We'll have to go through the receipts, and you tell me if it's fact or
definitely,
fiction.
definitely this generation, maybe all time as well.
That's pretty deep.
It's pretty deep.
I mean, I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago, Redacted, big Rumble channel.
Yeah.
And they called me the most investigated man under the Biden criminal syndicate regime that is undefeated because I never was indicted.
Wow. Yeah, usually when they're spending that much money and resource on an investigation, they're going to try to arrest you, right?
Yep, they tried.
Or at least frame you or do whatever.
They tried that too. Jack Smith, 4 subpoenas. You heard of him?
Yeah.
He did 4 subpoenas trying to target the Trump campaign to see if they had communicated with me.
And they haven't.
Well, I wouldn't say that. And then what else? We had FBI coming after me for January 6th. The Fed's coming after me for my COVID stance of never bending a knee on any of that stuff and exposing all of their corruption. Never bending a knee on the electoral. We're going to be on CommiTube, right?
Yeah.
So I got to be careful. Or maybe I'll just nuke your account.
Please don't. Please don't.
With my First Amendment sounds. No, I basically, 2020 election, COVID, January 6th, on anything. I didn't bend a knee, and I started to investigate those that were trying to stop us from speaking, and it didn't work out so well for them.
So you went James O'Keefe on their ass.
I would say on steroids times a trillion squared, because James, although he does great work, he's not an insider. He reports on and uses whistleblowers. I'm a 25-year insider.
Yeah.
Like, I know these names like the back of my hand. I know a lot of these people, and I know a lot of people that worked for these people. Let's just say people said, oh, you're a Fed. I run feds. Like, I run people to inform me of what's going on to the tune of James O'Keefe, like, on steroids.
Yeah, there's levels to this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you say insider,
they fuck with the wrong insider, is what I'm saying. The fastest way to have me be your enemy and weaponize against you is tell me what I can't do and force me into consuming things that I just don't want to consume. And so now it comes down to, we play a game of chicken. And I don't care if you're backed by trillions. There's 2 options in a game of chicken. I either win or you lose.
Yeah.
It's up to you to decide on how much pain you're willing to receive in that process, because I'm willing to go to the max. Charlie went to the max. Ashley Babbitt went to the max. Roseanne Boylan went to the max. Numerous people that ended up taking the unsafe and ineffective products went to the max. So it would be cowardly of me to not go to the max.
Did you know early on with the Jabberwocky what was going on there?
Is that what we're supposed to call it?
On YouTube, yeah.
The safe products?
Yeah.
The extremely safe and effective products? So I would say I changed my views on it 3 weeks into it. So March of 2020, by late February 2020, I used to teach intelligence analysis and all other things over at the Defense Intelligence Agency. And so I kind of got a sense that, you had a lab incident. That theory was the more convincing one, the lab incident theory for me, and then later turns out to be true. But I'd say when the lockdowns happened, I didn't really buy into it. And I thought 3 weeks into it, after consuming all the different state governors and federal entities within their Facebook accounts, as they were putting stuff out, and I saw a divergence in policies on how people approached responding to the pandemic, right? I felt something's off, and so I don't buy it. And luckily I didn't, because I would say that I'm probably one of the biggest voices and most aggressive voices over these last 5 years, that not only did I just personally not accept it, I just pushed back to the maximum until the censorship came. And then once the censorship came, that only escalated. Like, that forced me into escalating even more against the syndicate, if you will.
Did you get banned everywhere?
Not everywhere, but I got censored on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
Instagram. And so I just started doing events in person as I exposed all of it.
Yeah.
And just kept escalating from there. And then when Elon purchased X and Rumble was out and Truth Social, just continued my voice digitally there. And I mean, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, still undefeated.
And you're still censored, by the way. I was preparing for this episode, trying to watch your YouTube podcast. It's hard to find shit on you online, dude.
I might have a Hodge Twins interview.
Yeah.
I might have a clip of Tucker Carlson when he was still on Faux News. So, funny story. So I was on Tucker, his daytime program, when he was still at Paul Ryan's little outfit, that scumbag. And I agreed. I've never done a mainstream media show by design, on purpose, because they're all cowards to me. They're either cowards at best and more than likely completely treasonous traitors, complicit in the entire 5-year op that we experienced, right? And so why am I going to support, like, why would I disrespect somebody like you or Jake or others that pushed back, right?
Yeah.
To me, like, I owe it to you to give you as much time and attention because you've proven up, as opposed to those that complied with the censorship. I'm like, I'm not going to spend energy on you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to. I get hit up like probably every week by New York Times, Washington Post. I call them New Woke Slimes, Washington Compost, Huffington Compost, Criminal News Network, etc. Looking for a scoop story. Like, I don't need them. They need me. And I need them to go bankrupt because they just ruined our country for 5 years. They need to be punished. And if this government's not going to punish them, like, I have to use my influence and mechanism to punish them. And so that's why you don't see a lot of content, because I just don't care for those organizations. They need to be destroyed.
But you saw Tucker as someone that was kind of going against the grain a little bit.
Tucker, it's because on his daytime program, Fox Today, he had full, complete editorial control over the content that was placed. And I had conversations with him and his team. I said, hey, I'm going to talk about stuff that's going to get you canceled. I'm going to talk about things that are going to be paid for. He's like, oh, don't worry. On the daytime show, we got full, no one's going to touch us.
Wow. Shout out to him.
But on the Fox News, like on his nighttime program, he would still get calls from Paul Ryan or Rupert Murdoch to say, hey, you can't air this person or you can't talk about that. And so when you look at the clip that was taken out from that interview and posted, it was basically driving their accepted narrative. Because, I mean, in a 1 hour interview, you can clip out something that's going to be benign, right? That's not going to expose some of the more hot topics in the rest of the interview. So they just focused on, what do they call it? Disinformation in the military and DEI, right? That's an easy subject, right? To talk about, like, oh, you're not in support of DEI. Or
that's not even a controversial take anymore, I feel like.
Yeah, and so what they didn't talk about was the vaccines, the January 6th, 2020 election. And so when I saw that, that was the only time I did an interview, because I knew that I could talk about it and it would get out.
Yeah.
But absent that, I've refused Newsmax. I've refused all of them: CNN, MSNBC, Fox. Like, there's no reason for them to exist. Independent ones, yeah. Like, I do as many independent shows as possible because you've proven up, and plus, like, I want to get the truth out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go and enable somebody to make money off of my, like, I'm not big by any stretch of the means, and maybe I'm small because of the censorship, whatever. But I'd rather grind through the censorship so that, like, American knowledge and consent is, like, the consent of the people is not manufactured through AI bots or censorship. Does that make sense?
Yeah, dead internet.
It's a long, nerdy answer
No,
to
it is. It makes
a
sense,
short
though.
question.
Yeah.
But this needs to go viral, damn it. We can't be talking about nerd shit.
Let's go viral, then.
Let's go!
What have you been investigating lately that's keeping you up at night? Anything?
Nothing keeps me up at night. I mean, they fear me.
Nothing phases you anymore?
They fear me, man. It's like,
You've never stumbled across something where you're like, what the fuck?
I think I'm past that.
Damn.
I mean, the corruption in our government. I mean, think about it. They mutilate themselves. They mutilate their kids, right? So if you survive, this is where you're going to get in trouble, because, like, I don't censor myself. And I don't like it when somebody asks me to hold back, because somebody has to move the term Overton window, right?
Shout out to today's sponsor, Quince. As the weather cools, I'm swapping in the pieces that actually gets the job done, that are warm, durable, and built to last. Quince delivers every time with wardrobe staples that'll carry you through the season. They have fall staples that you'll actually want to wear, like the 100% Mongolian cashmere for just $60. They also got classic fit denim and real leather and wool outerwear that looks sharp and holds up. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. They've really become a go-to across the board. You guys know how I love linen and how I've talked about it on previous episodes. I picked up some linen pants and they feel incredible. The quality is definitely noticeable compared to other brands. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel as good as they look. Go to quince.com/DSH for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. They're also available in Canada too.
So somebody has to be on the counter of the garbage that the other side, the demonic side, is putting out.
Good point.
And I don't say it lightly. So I don't know about you. I kind of do. You're 27?
28.
28. I'm 49. So for some of you young punks out there, they're like, oh man, this guy's old, boomer, whatever. Bring it on, bro. Like I could take.
You got young energy though.
I can probably take 99% of your audience, right? Easy. And please challenge me on it. I beg it. But here's where I'm at. If you got somebody that's, say, for example, your parent, that want to come in and mutilate your child, or before that want to promote you to murder your child before they're born, that's extremism. That's totally fucking extremism. If you go from, the baby survived, and then you had the birth, and you want to post-birth murder the child, like in California, New York, or Virginia almost passed that, and they're probably going to pass it now that we have a Democrat governor and AG and trifecta coming in on January 17th. That's extremism. That's gonna be a problem because that's complete lawlessness. And when it's lawless like that, folks like me are not going to accept it. Even though you may have the power and influence and discretionary and more than discretionary authority to try to compel me into something, it's not going to end well. It's going to end in mutually assured destruction. And there's enough of us that are willing to go that way. So when I say moving the Overton window, they're like, oh, we're doing medical affirming care. No, that's fucking called mutilation, okay? That's called child endangerment. That's called child neglect. Asphyxiation, when you're forcing somebody to consume a face toilet, or a medical nose rape to test whether or not you got the thing, right? The flu.
Yeah.
The Wuhan flu. So, I mean, to summarize that question is, when they're willing to do that, when they're willing to murder, slaughter, conduct genocide, my rhetoric that only advocates for them to be held to account, for it to be censored, that becomes a problem not for me, but for them. And nothing keeps me up at night because they're willing to go to the max on everything. Like they've already proven that they have. And just most people don't see that occurred because they were censored into believing that that's not a thing. When it is.
Wow.
I mean, just a couple days ago, there was a study that came out from the lead doctor over at the HHS that has to deal with this, I think at the FDA. 10 children were killed by the jabs.
Wow.
First time they finally came out with a study on that, even though Rogan's been talking about it with doctors like McCullough, Malone, Teresa Long, Army whistleblower, Dr. Pete Chambers, Army whistleblower, Sam Sigel, Army whistleblower, Lieutenant Mark Bashaw, Army whistleblower. I know all these people. Like you've done 2,000 nearly interviews. Well, I've been 25 years in the system, so I know who I can trust based on that previous body of experience and interactions that I had with them. And those that are professionals are telling me one thing behind the scenes and have the courage to say it publicly is not congruent with what the talking heads are saying on behalf of making money from their sponsors. It's like a 180. So yeah, I'm not bending a knee, and I'm not losing any sleep over anybody. But I think your question was like, what are the most important things you want to that I've been investigating?
Yeah. Well, I got to.
You're gonna get banned. You're gonna get banned on everything if I start talking about
It's
that question.
deep. Holy shit.
So let's start out with it. Epstein files, Bibi Netanyahu, Miriam Adelson in your backyard here
she lives out here.
in Las Vegas. Susie Wiles, the chief of staff over there in the White House right now, Donald Trump. Chris LaSavita, the guy pulling in Adelson's money and deploying it through Trump world campaigns in order to primary Thomas Massie. Why? Because Thomas Massie wants to pull some of the influence and leverage that Miriam Adelson has through her connections with Israel and Bibi Netanyahu to hold people under blackmail because of what those Epstein files have. That's one thing. Number two, the 2020 election heist that occurred that is being investigated by a guy by the name of Kurt Olson over in the White House, who is the number one draft pick to expose the election heist that occurred in Georgia, Wisconsin, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and right here in Nevada. I mean, I know almost all these people. Like when the 2020 election was going on, right after the 2020 election, I took it upon myself to basically say, hey, America, I'm a lawyer. I'm a constitutional lawyer. Here's how the electoral count process works to get an election completed between the state legislatures and the Congress. What happened? You know that 39 states ran their elections illegally in 2020? Not just the 6. Because the way you run federal elections for president, it's the state legislature that decides how the election goes in each state. Well, due to COVID, non-legislative actors decided how to run the election.
The mail-ins.
Mail-in. Governors decided how to do it. State Secretary of State totally violated the state legislature's election law, which triggered a violation of the federal constitutions.
Yeah, no voter ID on some states too.
Yeah, so 39 out of 50 states ran COVID measures for their elections. We had an illegitimate 2020 election. No accountability. But anyway, that's the boring nerd stuff again. Focus on high energy.
I got a fun question for you.
But January 6th, I can tell you everything about January 6th. I was the one that essentially orchestrated and choreographed what was supposed to take place, but instead Nancy Pelosi to decide to run her Fedsurrection, and I can go into probably, 3 to 4 hours of that.
Pelosi's retiring next year, right?
Yep.
She's finally done.
Yep.
Making money. With the stock market.
Well, she's making bank either way, right? Corruption pays.
One of the best stock traders of all time.
One of the best corrupt actors. You know her dad was the mayor of Baltimore.
Okay. I didn't know
and
that.
If you look at that, you're like, that's how she made her claim to fame and all the corruption in Baltimore. D'Alessandro.
A lot of corruption in Baltimore, huh?
Yeah.
What went down over there?
I don't want to go there.
Oh, is that bad? Holy shit. I just had Sheriff Bianco on yesterday.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Come in.
That's your guy?
He needs to be in the show.
Oh, really? That's your guy?
Yeah, he's the guy.
You want wait.
Good or bad?
Hey.
What's up?
Chad Bianco.
I'm the guy that Chad Bianco falsely accused of being the third Trump assassin, so he could get famous and get on camera. This is literal.
No way.
His false accusation of me was like his unofficial run for governor.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And he lied about everything. He said I showed up to the Trump rally. I made verbal statements that I'm here to kill President fill in the blank, right?
Yeah.
Told that to the media. I had to go in hiding for months because I was being persecuted.
Holy shit.
By this guy's lies. And by the way, I'd love to come to your show and tell you the whole story. But it's not just me, by the way.
You got to have him on for the full rebuttal.
I got to get his side of it.
Everything that Chad Bianco said. That guy's a lying scumbag piece of fucking shit.
So you think it was intentional?
He's fucking.
It was 100% intentional. Because I recorded the whole thing. He lied about everything. He made it sound like I'm this kind of Unabomber kind of guy in a hoopty. He's like, oh, his car was in disarray. Dude, I have a 2024 brand new car. And he made up the lie. He said I made verbal statements, but I won't take from Ivan's time here. Would love to tell
I'll get you on.
I'll summarize it this way.
Yeah, thank you.
I did not know that. What are the odds of that?
I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or Republican, okay? If you're conducting illegal activity and you're going after innocent people, like I'm a big boy. I can take care of myself as proven of being undefeated. But when you go after people that are in a position that you can totally just dominate over, that's called fucking bullying.
Yeah.
Like I don't bully. I go after the fucking biggest corrupt scum in our government, whether it's a president, vice president, acting fake president, vice president, speaker of the House. I don't give a fuck. I'm coming for you when you start to go beyond your authorities. Chad Bianco is a fucking lying scum. You're going to get me pissed off that you had him on your show.
I did not know
And
this.
I'm going to say this. You can talk to whoever you want, but you also need to hear the story.
Well, that's the big part of my show. I have on both sides. I did not know about this.
I didn't know this
That's
was going to go in that
crazy.
direction. You got me fucking fired up.
Yo, my bad.
That guy's the biggest fucking piece of shit running for governor, and he's going to hide behind. He's lied on so many occasions. He recorded the entire interaction with the, what's the name of the county? Riverside County with the deputies.
Yeah.
It's all fucking recorded. Luckily, he recorded the interaction.
Wow.
They won't release the body cams because every single thing, if it's released, it shows that Chad Bianco fucking lied to. He should be charged with 18 USC 1001, lying to a fucking federal officer. The FBI agents, the Secret Service officers that Chad Bianco interacted with to lie about the fucking, that this guy was a third Trump assassin. He belongs behind fucking bars, not running for California governor.
What's his angle, though? Like, why would he lie about this?
He wanted to get on television.
He was using that to
wanted
launch
attention.
his gubernatorial campaign as the savior. I'm saving Donald Trump from a non-fucking threat.
Wow. Wow.
Like fucking predicated on total bullshit.
What are the odds he becomes governor, you think?
I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that that doesn't happen.
He said he's leading
I
the
would
polls.
rather have somebody that's truthful being a communist Democrat scum that I'm going to address when they're in office than somebody that fucking shits on a patriot and lies their way into trying to get into office.
Damn.
I have no fucking patience for any of that.
So you'd pick Newsom over him?
I would not pick either one of them.
That's a tough one, huh? Newsom's got
Well,
some,
Newsom fucking slaughtered people through his policies, just like Andrew Cuomo
yeah.
over in New York with the nursing home shit and the COVID policies.
And the homelessness
Yeah.
has been a disaster.
Total disaster.
$25 billion. I'm sure you track the flow of that money. It's a lot of
I
dough.
about fucking blew a gasket when I heard you say that name.
Oh, my bad, Mo. Well, hey, open
Do
invite
your
to him.
research. Okay, thank you.
He lives here, so we'll make it happen.
Vem
And I'll-
Miller, yeah.
I'll get his side. And,
But,
I
yeah.
wish I knew about it before, though, because I would have asked him on my interview with him. You know?
Within 24 hours, like it went viral because he lied about it and went and did a press conference, and then because he campaigning, he's been like a precinct captain for Trump, totally supported the campaign and
Yeah.
President Trump, and matter of fact, he was at Mar-a-Lago like February. Was it February?
Wow.
This year.
That's crazy. And to
but
go
this guy,
from
Chad-
that to Trump assassin in
No,
8
like
months.
that was after.
Oh, that was after?
But we cleared his name.
Oh.
But so his name's cleared. Vem's name's cleared, except for in the mind of this guy Chad Bianco.
Oh, he still believes it.
He's still carrying the bullshit narrative because he knows that if he acquiesces to the truth, everyone views him as a piece of shit. So he has to act like, oh, in my mind, I really thought he was a third assassin.
I'm blown away right now. He pulled up with a lot of security yesterday, too. Holy shit.
Total piece of shit.
Wow.
He's running for governor. But I don't know about you. People say, take the lesser of the two evils. Everyone needs to be held to account. And that's why I like the whole Thomas Jefferson quote, when the people fear the government, that's tyranny, right?
Yeah.
When the government fears the people, that's freedom. Well, I don't care if you're a Republican administration, Democrat administration. I want you to fear me because that means I have freedom because I'm a private citizen. And I'm innocent until you prove my guilt. And on the flip side of that, if you're a governmental actor, you are fucking guilty until you prove beyond any shadow of my doubt your innocence.
Wow.
So that means that I don't care if you're whatever administration. There are very few people that have proven their innocence in this administration.
Would you say
It's a minority.
Would you say it's all administrations throughout history, or would you say it's more recent times?
After looking at researching the last 11 years, I can't say that I haven't gone into as much detail as before. And granted, we didn't have as much insight into governments because everyone's got one of these.
Yeah.
Everyone's got the ability to interact and communicate. I would probably say that this level of corruption has probably been in existence always.
So it's just a money thing, right?
Yeah. It's just that there are very few, I shouldn't say few. There are more and more of us that can call it out at scale.
Right. Because of social media.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so interesting. So
And that's why I'm censored because I can call you, I think before we went on, I can call you out about 1,500 people by name, date, place, transgression, and relationships. you just drop the name and I could be like,
How
I'll
much
just
of that
plug and
have
play
you?
it. And like when you said Chad Bianco, I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah, I did not expect you to know him, to be honest. That's crazy. Wow.
I do a lot of research.
So you got dirt on everyone.
I do.
Holy shit.
Maybe
Damn.
that's why they didn't arrest me.
How many of those names have you exposed?
Bring it on.
1,500? That's a lot of people.
No, I mean you got to go one by one because like I can do one podcast on one person, then like ruin them.
Damn.
Because they deserve to be ruined, and hopefully it's gonna be Chad Bianco in this interview.
Holy shit.
Since you raised his name.
So he's been a cop for 32 years, he said, running for governor. He said he's leading the polls. I didn't verify that. But he thinks he's going to win. He thinks he's going to win governor in June.
He can think that all he wants. We gave him an opportunity to apologize and retract it, and he refused. He doubled down, so now it's...
What if I set up a... you think he'd talk to him at all or no? Your buddy?
No, so...
If I set up a little conversation?
Bianco had, like... It's on Bianco to apologize fucking profusely and come correct. And if he does that, then we prosecute him for lying to the FBI and Secret Service. That's how important... That's how damning his behavior was.
Damn. So you want to go the legal route with him?
He's being sued by...
He's being
Vem.
sued by him?
Vem is suing Bianco.
Oh, Vem's suing
for
him.
like $20 or $50 million.
Police department or?
Yeah. So his police department contacted Las Vegas PD anti-terrorism unit to go and raid his his elderly parents' home.
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
This ain't fucking playtime. This is you just fucking
Yeah, I'll get his
like
side
Chad
off.
Bianco fucking flexed.
Damn.
And the only solution to this, one thing is he shouldn't be running for governor. The second thing is this motherfucker deserves jail time for what he did.
Unfortunately, I don't
Fucking
think,
almost ruin him and his parents.
Yeah, I just think when you're a sheriff, the odds of that are not high, right? You know, if we're being realistic. What do you think?
I don't know. To me, he's tainted because of what he did. It's not because like I know Vem, I knew him. We gave him ample opportunity to come correct. The evidence is there, and when you start to look at his sheriff's department, fucking corruption after corruption. Vem's have him on your show to outline all the details. He's got whistleblowers from within his sheriff's department that have so much fucking dirt on this sheriff. He's the sheriff that kneeled to BLM.
No.
There's video of him kneeling before BLM.
All right, to be fair, was it early on?
To be fair, he was kneeling for fucking BLM, okay?
All right, I'll be honest.
Biden Laptops Matter is the only BLM that I support, okay?
That's funny. I fell for the BLM thing at first, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I donated, but obviously it was a scam, you know.
Well, I'm glad you came
I
to
paid
realization.
for some guy's mansion.
I do have to call you out on something, though,
Call me out.
and it's going to be pretty harsh.
What is it?
As I was doing some research on you,
Okay.
what do you think I'm going to call you out on based on what I just heard?
$7,000. Israel.
Talk to me.
I have on a lot of pro-Israel guests. Is
No.
that it? No?
That's not your biggest transgression.
What could it be?
Think 2020, COVID,
What?
face toilets.
Face toilets. Selling masks during the
Masks.
pandemic?
Yeah,
I sold masks, yeah. I did it to make money.
Okay.
I mean, I thought they helped at first, but obviously it's bullshit now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was in my apartment trying to do mass deals.
Just fucking hustling because you
Hustling.
believe the government, and then
I believed them at
some
first.
point.
I never got the Jabberwocky.
Nice.
So give me that, all right? Give me that. I was getting a lot of pressure on that, you know, from my family, from my friends. I grew up in liberal Jersey, but I was wise enough
Good
not
recovery.
to get it. Yeah.
Good recovery. Okay, we're back on track.
Yeah, we're chilling. We're chilling.
Now that I'm fucking
You're loose
amped
now.
up
You're
about
loose now.
fucking Chad Bianco.
Damn, I didn't know he was on your shit list like that. Is he like top 5 on your list?
Well, he's a state actor. He's definitely on Vem's number one because of what he did to him. But yeah, luckily we had Alex Jones and I think Kirk and some other people immediately jumped on it and believed the sheriff about it.
Yeah.
And then when I was talked to Vem and other people, I was like, hey mate, like he said, you got any evidence to back you up, Vem? He's like, yeah, I fucking recorded the whole interaction.
Thank God he did.
But I'm not going to tell you that I have the recording and where it is until I get my car back. Because his car was impounded. Once he got his car impounded, the little recording device, he was able to pull it off.
Wow.
And so once he provided me with that, I'm like, okay, I can fucking go all in swinging, big dicking about the truth. And Alex Jones initially ran with that Van was the third assassin,
Yep.
and then he got hit up by because people know him. He goes to events, Turning Point, this and that, and everybody like recognize like, what, Van? What the fuck? And on Infowars, Alex Jones, like within 24 hours, retracted and said, no,
Wow.
this is all bullshit.
Shout out to Alex for doing that.
And so, yeah. And then everybody started kind of like back off.
Charlie changed too?
I think they backwalked it, not as aggressively as Alex. Alex like aggressively immediately backwalked.
Okay.
Not backwalked, like corrected it with a bunch of people hit him up, and then so he got kind of his name intact within our ecosystem and within the court, within the independent court of public opinion. But the mainstream media was still running with the Chad Bianco narrative, which fucking that damages him, and it causes a raid on his house here in Vegas, where his parents were at. And
So they had a warrant?
He's got video of that too.
It's crazy how they could just raid your house.
Yeah.
When a police calls another police, they could raid your house.
Yeah, they said, oh, he's a threat. He's a third assassin. He's just whatever, bullshit, right?
So no evidence.
So the only way we hold him to account is like we have to publicly destroy him.
Wow.
Because, I mean, who's going to arrest a sheriff
That's what I'm
in
saying.
California? So we have to publicly, like politically, he has to be destroyed.
Wow. That is crazy. Okay, so he's on your list. Along with 1499 people.
So he's not even on my list. And that's how
he's
I
like a
feel
bottom
about
one.
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's work our way up here then. Let's work our way to the mid tier and then the top final boss.
The final boss?
Yeah. Well, the final boss is going to take a lot of resource to take out, right?
The final boss is your girl, Nancy Pelosi.
You think she's the final boss?
Let me frame it this way. Who do you think the most powerful person on the planet is?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And why? And then I'll explain.
Putin?
Okay, why?
Money.
How much?
He allegedly is the most in the world, right?
Which is?
I don't know the exact number.
So back 10, 15 years ago, it was about 250 billion.
Okay.
Okay? Let's just say he's worth $1 trillion. Or is it more?
Could be more. Could be around there, yeah.
Give me a ballpark high level.
I would say at least $1 trillion, right?
Okay, let's give him 2 trillion.
Okay.
5 trillion, okay? Which person on the planet has the ability to influence and control $7 trillion annually into the global economy?
So if Putin doesn't have 7, is that what you're saying? Basically, he doesn't have that influence? So it's someone that's not known then? Are we talking deep state now?
You know who. When I answer the question, you'll be like, oh, it makes sense. We'll give you an opportunity to think about
$7 trillion
it.
annually.
Who allocates of with a 7.5, whatever, 8 billion
Trump?
people on the planet? Does he?
I don't know.
No.
7 trillion.
So when you look at the American Constitution, who decides the federal budget? Where does it start? With the House of Representatives.
Right.
Who runs the
I see where
play
you're going now.
in the House of Representatives? The Speaker of the House, right?
Yeah.
So when the Speaker of the House controls the $7 trillion annual budget now into the global economy, and I want to do favors and do legal bribes to whoever I want for anything that I want, the Speaker of the House is the most fucking powerful person on the planet.
Wow.
Does that make sense now?
Yeah, you broke it down well.
So of the last 10, 15 years, who has held that position
Pelosi.
more than anyone else? Nancy Pelosi.
Wow. Nancy Pelosi, huh? She's the final boss.
The final boss. Remember in 2020? The COVID relief package?
Yeah, the $1,200 or whatever.
No. The COVID relief package to the tunes of trillions of dollars. The government shut down the country.
Oh, the PPP loans?
Yeah, no, hold up. So that's part of it. So the White House Coronavirus Task Force was created. Mike Pence was the guy. Jared Kushner was the shadow governor.
Yep.
As they recommended to shut things down. The economy was tanking because everything shut down by forced government coercion, unlawful. Okay. And Nancy Pelosi was like, all right, cool. We're going to use this as our mechanism to steal the 2020 election. But we have to bribe people into doing that. How do we bribe people into doing it? We pass a several $1 trillion COVID relief package to those that are going to participate in the electoral heist. That's what happened in 2020. And the only member of Congress that said we need to vote not by proxy, but by in person was your boy Thomas Massey. The only one that properly maneuvered through parliamentary procedure. So what I'm getting at is the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, not only did she conduct the biggest transfer of wealth ever in humanity during that relief package, a lot of that has stuck. The annual budget and all that bullshit, the PPE loans, right? That's been ignored.
Yeah, a lot of fraud there.
A lot of fraud. The Ukraine money laundering scheme, the Israel money laundering scheme. I mean, a lot of this is, I get it, it's both parties. But Nancy Pelosi had a significant outsized role because she's been Speaker of the House twice. Wow. During that period of time, for 4 years.
Shit. I did not know she had power like this.
She was Speaker of the House when she ran the Fedsurrection, what people call the January 6th event. She was a Speaker of the House. How could she do it? Because when you conduct the joint session in Congress to certify a president, that is held inside of the House of Representatives chambers. The senior law enforcement authority within the House of Representatives is the Sergeant at Arms, who reports to the Speaker of the House. That swath of territory in the country is fully controlled by the Speaker of the House at her direction at that time. So if she wants to run a parliamentary coup like what she did, she just does it. And there's no recourse other than political removal.
And you actually think it's her, not people around her? Because she's getting old now. You think she's making these big brain plays?
Well, it's her daughter Alexandra Pelosi, her son-in-law Michael Voss, her chief of staff Terry McCullough, her senior advisor Jamie Fleet, just to name a few.
It's got to be a team, right? It can't be just her.
Remember, I said 1,500, right? You said who's the boss. Obviously, the boss is going to have a few.
Yeah, she's the face of it, though. Yeah, for sure.
And then you have other members of Congress to help facilitate that. Jamie Raskin, Adam Schiff, Zoe Lofgren, our top three.
Wow. So whoever comes in next is going to be very important for that role then.
And so now but the thing is, the reason why she was able to have influence and control over her conference, meaning the Democrat Party that put her in as Speaker of the House, is because of her ability to fundraise. And where does she get her fundraising dollars from? Doesn't she represent San Francisco, Silicon Valley, the big tech players?
Which you've spent a lot of time in. So you know the ins and outs of that world.
So are we going to talk about that?
Yeah, I did some
good
research
pivot, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're going to make me happy now. I was about to rip your face off for fucking talking about Chad Bianca. This motherfucker had Chad Bianca on while you're in the fucking room? I don't know, man.
My bad. I'll own up to that. I'll own up to it. Yeah, let's dive into business stuff.
Fucking flip the fucking table.
Before I get punched in the face. All right. So you were a tech scout in Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about those.
So days. I spent 25 years in the U.S. military. I was a Green Beret, intel officer, this and that. Had a good rodeo. Had a good run. Pretty eclectic background. And my last assignment in the reserves was to be a technology scout for what's called Army Futures Command as a reservist. And the unit was the 75th Innovation Command. Basically, we would have a presence in about almost 24 cities throughout the country where we would engage with local industry and tech to see if they wanted to sell their product or service into the Army procurement cycle in order to be able to, improve our ability to counter threats, right? Foreign threats in support of the U.S. Constitution's effort to defend from enemies foreign. So, right? China, Iran, North Korea, Russia, and then some of the non-state actors, etc. So then I was on the unit was just created in 2020, I think.
Oh, pretty recently.
And I started right when I was one of the founding members on the Silicon Valley team and Greater Bay Area. And so I was part of what we call West Group. And there, my portfolio was to focus, there was different geographic area, like I said, and then also portfolio of topical industry areas. So I focused on AI, gaming, and mixed reality to see who were the players that were up and coming in the early startup, and then a little later than early startup, because you want some smart money behind it to be able to then introduce an already minimally viable, MVP.
Yeah.
Past an MVP that could potentially be utilized for Army and then broader Department of Defense reasons, right, and capabilities. So I focused more on engaging with companies going through like TechCrunch. You've heard of these, right?
Yeah,
TechCrunch,
TechCrunch,
Disrupt, 500 startups, and then Y Combinator.
Okay.
So you have every 6 months, you have a pitch day, right, from 500.
Yep.
I mean, I don't do these. I've normally done podcasts that are political.
Yeah.
So I can't go into depth with any. So I'm happy I can actually.
Yeah, I can understand this.
Talk about these things. So Y Combinator, right, is arguably the most capable and smart money backed accelerator, right,
Yeah.
on the planet.
A lot of big companies come out of there.
Yeah. So you have every 6 months you got demo day, pitch day. And then you have angel investors. Some of the VCs will come in there, but usually it's early stage, so you don't have the VCs coming in. And then also I was interacting before that, and one of the reasons why I think they brought me in as kind of this liaison is I did a little bit of angel investing back in the day, and I did a little just small stuff. Nothing I would like brag
No home
about.
runs?
No, nothing. But it's like you're learning, right? You're learning the ecosystem. You're creating a network. I went to a couple events, like you heard of Jason Calacanis, right?
Yeah.
JCal. And I remember in 2015, I think it was 2015, I went to one of his events because he hosted, he probably still does host a lot of events. This was before I really got political. I was kind of more involved in tech, startups, business, entrepreneurship, just to see where I could go, whether it's podcasts, this and that. And so I bumped into him, and I went to the event, and towards the end of the event, it was like on AI and what is it? Not handhelds, but wearables, like a wearables
2015
conference.
they were talking about AI?
Yeah, this was like early stuff.
Wow.
And so I'm like, hey man, because I was following his podcast. He's got one of the best podcasts.
Yeah, All In show's a good
All
show.
In. And so I approached him at the end of the conference. I said, hey, Jason, I just want to tell you thanks. I was on active duty at the time, and I just went there for like a weekend, or I took a couple days off during the week.
Yeah.
Because I was based out of the Northern Virginia area. And I said, thanks, man. Anytime you want to come to D.C. and like visit or tour the Pentagon, because I think, I was like, that's basically the best I can offer you, because I'm not like wealthy or anything.
Yeah.
You got everything you need because you're like, you're wealthy entrepreneurs. And I was like, that's like the best thing I can offer you as like my show of gratitude for, everything you're doing for like smaller startups and things like that. And when I said that, he's like, what? You're a veteran, this and that? And he got really interested. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Green Beret, this and that. I went to my background. He's like, oh, crap. You need to come to my like VIP dinner, angel VIP thing where all the founders dinner. I was like, wow, you don't need to do that. And he's like, he invited me, he gave me like VIP access for the following day. So like, he's like, you want to come in and stay in town? So I spent a couple of days, at his event and at the dinner, and got to hang out with him. And then later, I think it was that night, I went to, you heard of the Battery?
Is that a comedy club?
The Battery is kind of like the tech founder, wealthy club in San Francisco, right?
Okay.
And so, a couple people that I had interacted with are members there, and I was like, I went out there, and I was like, oh, and I saw Jason there. He was hanging out with Elon.
No way. That's legendary.
It's like crazy. And so I didn't get a chance to talk to Elon at all, but that was probably the closest I've been to him. And I said, I was like, hey, Jason, what's going on? I was like, oh, you're with Elon. Cool.
What's up, Elon?
Where are you guys going? They're like, whatever, top floor. I was like, but I was already with a couple of other friends. We were leaving. So
That's nuts. Oh, yeah, because they just had the PayPal exit around then, right? That was like right before?
No, PayPal.
Oh, that was a while ago.
No, I think he was hitting it gold with Uber. Like, that's his biggest, right?
Okay.
For Jason, as far like, I haven't tracked this stuff the last few years, but I followed him on Twitter, this and that. But when I went political, obviously he's in liberal San Francisco.
Yeah.
Even though he's a businessman, entrepreneur, he's got work ethic. So I guess his libertarian streak probably went more left because of like what you said, like you bought into the hype, the bullshit, the manipulated bullshit that they were presenting us. And so he probably saw my public persona is I'm calling it all out, and he thinks I'm guessing he's thinking I'm like conspiracy, just nut job, right? Meanwhile, like everything I said is fully backed by evidence. It's truthful, but you can't get to my evidence if you keep blocking and censoring it. And so there was a divergence where we didn't really communicate that much, like really at all. I did go to like an event or two where we crossed paths, and we were very, friendly. He's always been good to me. Like I always thank him for everything he's done, but I would also call him out like, hey man, you're backing the wrong horse, because you're like, communism doesn't work when you're trying to build businesses, when you try to build, all these startups. So 2024 rolls around, and you can see the pivot once Elon moves. You got to remember, like, a little insider that he shared with me is that Jason Calacanis, for you to know how close he is with Elon's first Tesla Model S, like the first VIN number, is owned by Jason Calacanis. No way. So that should tell you a lot about like how far back they go, right? And so I didn't know, like he told me that.
That's cool.
And so once Elon essentially backed Trump after the failed assassination attempt, you can start to see all of Silicon Valley start to pivot and say, you know what? Yeah, we're going to get behind Trump. And so I have these touch points with Silicon Valley with like really big influential figures, but just not on a business level, just like, I wouldn't say like close friends, but as, more than acquaintances. And so fast forward to 2025 in January this year during the inauguration, I'm at an Uber X party that I'm invited to. And then I see Jason. I was like, hey, what's up, Ivan? Blah, blah, blah. Let me introduce you to people. So like, I guess I made enough of an impression throughout the different times we've interacted. And he's, because I usually shit on people that are conducting treason and calling them out. Yeah. And while the spectators out there don't like it because that's their dog in the fight, I think that Jason saw that I never really attacked him. I was just like, hey man, you're wrong, and here's why.
Yeah, you were respectful.
But I was respectful about it because he was, when you're nice to me, I'm gonna go all out to basically outdo you with what I can to be nice back. But if you fuck with me, I'm gonna go fucking scorched earth the other way as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be your enemy.
So, so what I'm getting at with this, I'm glad you're letting me giving me the bandwidth to talk about this, is that was the reason that, and coupled with, interacting with Silicon Valley at a somewhat deeper level than most people in the Army and Army Reserves do, led me into that position to be a tech scout because, I kept a good relationship with people, even though politically we're completely not, like, we're not in line until you finally see the evidence that I see, then you're like, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad he had that growing phase, because I can't blame him, because he's building businesses. He's investing in business, not worried about politics. Just like Elon. Elon was like a baby neophyte, clueless on politics, and they ran circles around him and ran him out. But he's learned through that process, and hopefully he'll re-engage. But yeah, since you're focused on business and entrepreneurship and
that's a cool story.
What's that?
That's a cool story, hearing about the heyday of Silicon Valley. Now it's not the same, though.
So even back, I got even more, like, you're only 28, so let me even go farther back.
Okay.
So we're talking 2015. So that would have been about same time.
I was in high school then.
So in 2012.
Freshman year of high school for me.
So in 2012, I was an analyst, a counterintelligence analyst at the Defense Intelligence Agency. Okay. The director at the time was a newly minted director. His name was General Flynn. Heard of that name?
Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's coming on the show. Don't tell me he's compromised. We'll talk later about it.
No, that's going to be your best guest.
Okay. Good.
You're good.
I got worried there.
No, you're
when you brought up another name.
I totally vouch for that guy. Freaking awesome.
Okay.
Cool. That's one guy that I'll fight to the death for. Okay. So, you just recovered.
Yes, sir. I made up for it.
Did he recover?
Made up for it.
And he's not my handler. So 2012, he's the director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. And he comes in, and one of the new things that he implements, he's got what's called an innovation series. So he brings in like key leaders from industry that are disrupting in a very positive way, technologically or whatever, different industries. And guess who he invites? Elon's last boss, which would have been
Jason?
No.
Elon's last boss. I don't even know.
Yeah, this goes way back.
What the fuck? Who did Elon work
Where
for?
did Elon work where he had a boss the last time?
Was it PayPal or before that?
PayPal.
Okay. Who was his boss at PayPal?
Peter Thiel.
Oh, shit. We're diving into Thiel now, huh? I wasn't going to bring it up unless you did, because there's a lot of talk about Thiel right now.
I know. So, like, I go way, I'm pretty, like, OG on a lot of this stuff, right? Because I'm 49, so I've had the luxury to dabble in different spaces, because when I'm in the reserves, right, it's only a part-time thing in the military, so I'm doing all these other endeavors, right? And so 2012, that's when I was a federal civilian employee, intel analyst, and I'm listening in, and the topic of the discussion was called secrecy, and how things are going to be less and less secret, right? Because of the internet. So this was 2012. Social media is not that, just getting kind of started, right? Twitter is kicking off, starting to pick up a little bit here and there. And I remember at the end, he gives his speech, and at the end, he's like, hey, does anybody have any questions? And freaking no one's got a question. I'm like, I do. I got tons of questions. So I ask him, because I followed his career. I looked at different, just like you, in high school, you're probably looking at this stuff considering how successful you are now.
I was always into entrepreneurs, Gary Vee, Shark Tank, all that stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to get to Gary Vee. That's another good story, dude. So in 1999 was when PayPal was kicking, right? 1999, 2000, and I think it was in 2000 that he left, maybe, Peter Thiel. So anyway, going back to like 1999 time frame, which was probably before you were born.
I was born in 97, so basically, yeah, I don't remember shit.
So I'm following his career, not just like as a spectator. Oh wow, business, PayPal. I'm using all the different products. I'm always in gadgets, etc.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, man, I know this guy's kind of career arc of history, and Mark Andreessen. You know Mark Andreessen?
I know him, yeah.
Yeah, so like in the mid '90s, I'm gonna go even farther back, before you were born. Mark Andreessen's uncle was my accounting professor at the University of Northern Iowa.
Wow.
Okay.
What are the odds of that?
So
that's crazy.
And he would talk about like, my nephew Mark, he's doing some bullshit thing, like he's building some sort of browser or whatever, Mosaic, I think it's called back then. It was before Netscape.
Okay.
When he was at Urbana-Champaign, right? And so what I'm getting at here is like I'm bouncing around, but my point is that I've been following tech pretty, much more closely, I think, than most people that you would expect, whether it's military, government, etc. So I've had, if you will, tentacles and reach in different sectors, and I know the ecosystem fairly well, going back decades in Silicon Valley to where it gets into big tech world and censorship, and also on the East Coast, considering I've been in the special ops and in the intelligence community. So I'm one of the few players that are out there that are also vocal, that know the people, players down to the individual level of the key institutions that are driving the American conversation, whether it's from the deep state side as an insider to kind of what we're seeing on this other side. Maybe not like deep, but I know enough that I have enough insiders to be able to give a very accurate assessment and what should happen to fix the shit show that we saw like the last 5 years.
That's impressive.
So Peter Thiel, touch points, Jason Calacanis, and then my Gary Vee story. Oh, before I go to Gary Vee, I actually ended up deciding to run for U.S. Senate in 2018 in Virginia.
Oh.
And the very first, you got to have money to go run for Senate, right?
Yeah.
Or any political office. So I go down the list on Forbes, right? Forbes list of billionaires. And I'm looking at the list. I'm thinking, who is most closely aligned with me ideologically? It's not going to be 100%. But like, who's the one most closely aligned with that potentially I can work with in order to be successful, like so that there's a little ROI, obviously, on the investor billionaire side, but aligns with my values, at least on some of the key things that I'm running on.
Yeah.
Like way before Andrew Yang. Yang was 2020. In 2018, I was like talking about AI, right? It's like I kind of know, I've been in the system. AI and other issues. So we'll just talk about the AI part, because we need to regulate it. We need, like, there needs to be some knowledge, and the economy has to change in order to be able to go from agrarian industrial, right, in Virginia, to be essentially competitive globally, obviously, economically. And so when I'm going down the list, I'm thinking, all right, Peter Thiel. So going back from the time in 2012 when we were interacting, I got his contact information and reached out to him and said, hey, like, I want to basically have a meeting with you to present to you why you should invest in my Senate run. So I went up to his place in New York. Supposed to be like a 30-minute meeting. I think we went like 2 hours or something.
Wow, so it went well.
And at the end of it, I'm like, yeah, are you going to support me? He's like, yeah, easy. So he only donated to 3 campaigns that election cycle. Josh Hawley, heard of him?
No.
Senator from Missouri.
Okay.
He was the guy that objected to the Pennsylvania electors on the Senate side on January 6th of 2021.
Wow.
And he's going after big tech.
Good for him.
The second guy was Kevin McCarthy. He was the leader of the Republican Party,
heard
so
of him.
he's California-based, and I'm not a fan. And I had a very big role with Matt Gaetz in removing him as Speaker of the House and pushing him out of Congress. You're welcome. I'll give props to Matt Gaetz, though. So he's and then me was the third one. Okay. And so the problem with that, though, was the Republican Party blocked me from getting the Virginia Republican Party blocked me from getting on the ballot.
Whoa.
I tried to sue them, and the judge basically said, hey, if you would have sued 2 days ago, you would have gotten on the ballot, but you didn't sue in time. And I said I couldn't sue earlier because the Republican Party didn't give me the evidence of the reasoning behind why they blocked me, which was they said I didn't have enough signatures to get on the ballot. After we did an audit looking at their information, they used an old database, and my campaign was using the current database, which gave us sufficient numbers to be on the ballot. So anyway, I didn't get an opportunity to run for him to essentially back me and go all in, because the first phase is get on the ballot, second phase is the primary, and I think I would have had the endorsement of POTUS based on the network that I knew at the time, and then that would have put me in the general election to go against this guy that says he claims he speaks Spanish. I speak a few languages, right?
You speak Mandarin?
Nah, just a little bit. And so that would have gone in that direction. But needless to say, nowadays people are like going after Peter Thiel, and they're going to say, oh, Ivan knows Peter Thiel, and thus by extension, everything Peter Thiel does, Ivan knows about and is whatever negativity that you're going to attribute to him. But keep in mind that Peter Thiel was, at the time that I was interacting with him, he was the tech advisor for President Trump. He was Trump's tech advisor. Like, now you could claim it's Elon, but back then it was Peter Thiel. So I think that was a safe bet to remember. Peter Thiel was the only one from Silicon Valley, to stray from Silicon Valley, the radical, leftist play, and deviate. And he was at the RNC convention.
That's true.
In 2016.
Yeah, he was the first one.
So I get it. I mean, be critical of everybody. Be critical of me. Like, I'm all for that, right? You and your audience can shit on me and call me as many names as possible. I don't give a flying fuck, right? And if you haven't realized it yet.
Yeah, my thinking, you have to be numb in the social media space to hate and criticize.
Like, I actually revel in it. Like, I love it when people call
you're
me
the type
names.
of guy to reply to the comments.
It's like, yeah, bring it on, bro. It's like, that's all you got?
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. So, but the truth is the truth, right? Once you're done calling me names, and then you can get beyond the low IQ interaction into, okay, it feels good to call me names. I do that sometimes too. But then after that, you got to back up why you're calling me that and bring receipts on why that is.
Facts over feelings.
And I'll fucking crush pretty much anybody with receipts.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people like run from me, and they just don't want to interact because it just becomes too overwhelming. But having said that, just to kind of close off on Peter Thiel, yeah, I mean, he's been good. Like, every interaction that I've had with him has been good. I get it. He's a billionaire that invests in a lot of things. He's part of the whole Bilderberg thing.
Yep.
That raises eyebrows for me as well. He is involved in, he probably goes to Davos and all this. He has a seat at the table. That raises an eyebrow for me as well. But like, keep an eye on everybody, right? And if he's doing something that's not like the whole AI stuff, right?
The biggest hate I see about him is the AI and the Palantir stuff.
Yeah, so let's talk about Palantir. So Palantir, and I'm not defending this. I'm just telling you what my perspective is I wouldn't call myself an insider, but just having seen it over the course of, with a couple of stories to back it up over the last, 20 years,
Yep.
right? Don't you want, if our intelligence community, and I thought the way it was set up was legit, is to go out, track, target, and, locate, and action our foreign enemies. Don't you want our intelligence community to have a robust capability to do that?
I would say yes.
I would say yes. But when that same capability is used to come in and come after me, a U.S. citizen that's lawfully operating, then you got a fucking problem.
Agreed.
Like, you become my enemy like that. So if that's occurring, guess what? Then Peter Thiel has a problem with me. But I haven't seen the clear evidence of that's taking place.
Yeah.
That he is in any way, shape, or form complicit. If you can show me that, then then
Email him, guys. If you
then
got
my
that
relationship is different with my view of him, because I mean it's disingenuous for me to attack someone that's been, good faith and kind to me or whatever, right?
I'm sure you've lost some close relationships and friendships when new information surfaces, because
you
seem very objective.
Massive.
So when that happens, I'm sure you cut people off or cut ties.
I have that same conversation. Like, I spent 25 years in the system, intel community, special ops. I'll give you one example just on this note. I know people in the FBI. I still do. I knew when they were doing the whole fucking tyranny of the last 4 years in the FBI. I knew people in the most publicized investigations in the last 10 years that were on those teams. And I still communicated with them. I said, hey, motherfucker, I've known you for 20 years. If you are any way, shape, or form involved in weaponizing against General Flynn, George Papadopoulos, Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, these political fucking domestic hit jobs, or if you're involved in enforcing criminalizing lawful First Amendment activity on January 6th, you're going to have a problem with me. And I don't give a fuck. You may be a senior official at the FBI. That's when the gloves come off, and they'd be like, see, that's why that's why people investigate you, because you use that rhetoric. I'm not threatening anyone. I guarantee consequences when you fucking cross my red line. That's just me being a man.
Yeah.
Now you can say that's medieval or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm old school. You fucking come and cross my red line, you find out. And if you want to test, it, I would please test it. So far, no one's really tested it. So I can't prove. I would love to be able to show examples of me proving myself that somebody came and tested it, and then they got the FO part of the FA, right?
Yeah.
But I'll say the same thing to a fucking director of the FBI, the director of the CIA. I don't give a fuck how powerful you are. You're a man or a woman. And when you're one-on-one with me, that's how I treat you. You fuck up, I'm going to call you out on it. You do good, I'm going to call you as being fucking awesome about it, right?
Respect.
Now, a lot of people are sycophants that give you the positive reinforcement. And when there's too much of that, then I got to play the role of the bad cop. Right? If somebody's playing bad cop already that's fucking crushing skulls, then I'm going to play the good cop to kind of balance things out in any situation. Because I always try to fill the void of what I see not taking place. If you look at all my content, it's you can't categorize it. I just look at the entire landscape as much as I can follow in the public discourse and see what is not being covered, and that's where I fucking go max.
That's the opposite approach. Everyone else copies each other.
Yeah. So like most content creators like are talking about the news of what happened today. Okay?
Yeah.
Some, like the higher IQ ones, assess and kind of contextualize what happened, right? The fucking maximum IQ people are taking all that and then create a strategy and plan to address it.
Yeah.
I focus most of my time on what is the best course of action moving forward to fix the problem we're at. It's just like as an entrepreneur, like identify the problem, get the solution, create the product or service for that solution, market, create product market fit, and then scale, right?
Yeah, I'm all about taking action. That's why I don't do many phone calls.
But that's why, but most of in the content creation business, and I'm not going to call out names because some of them do pretty good work, they're feeding the masses that aren't quite yet at that higher stage of critical thought and interaction because, everyone, on one side, a lot of people are busy, right? So they're just kind of like passively listening, consuming content just for context. But it requires much more brain engagement and thought to, okay, I've identified, like the hardest thing is actually identifying the right problem. Most people identify the wrong problem. Everyone's identifying the wrong problem, which is like, who did you just have on? Who's your biggest viewed podcast?
I would say it's Tate and Fuentes.
And what are they talking about?
Well, Fuentes is talking about Israel and America first, stuff like that.
And why do people think he's controversial?
They label him a Nazi, a white supremacist.
Is that the problem? Is Nick Fuentes out there shilling for big pharma so that you're slaughtered?
No.
Last time I checked, that's not going on. However, did Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin shill for the big pharma products and the vaccines that resulted in negative impacts?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
I judge people based on their actions, or I should say the words that create destruction, right?
Would you ever...
What about Tucker Carlson? He rejected the jabs.
Yeah, he rejected it.
And so it's almost as though people are looking at it from the false, anti-Semitic, this and that. I look at it from a completely different perspective. I categorize it into who's making money and what's the money source and why are the attacks happening in order to protect the money and power and influence that money is coming from. And when you, now that I said it to you this way, hopefully you and the audience will now look at it from yet another angle of, oh shit, maybe that's why Thomas Massey is the big pharma brand ambassador, Donald Trump, who brings in Burla into the White House, right? And Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. Maybe that's why he's going after Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Maybe it's not just the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Because they're purebloods, right? Marjorie and Massey, they never took the jab.
Oh.
They're the ones that reject it the most of any member of the House. Like hands down of the 435 in the House.
I didn't know that.
Full stop.
Shout out to them for not doing it.
Yeah. And so when you look at it from that perspective, I think people will start to see the bigger play here.
Yeah.
Albert Bourla, he's in the White House. But Marjorie's rejected. Massey's rejected. That's how I view it. So we talked about Peter Thiel. We talked about Jason Calican. Oh, Peter Thiel was at the same Uber X party. I saw him there.
Yeah.
Just brief interactions. And so, I think at the end of the day, AI is coming. Whether China's going to, China's is moving, right? China is in a position to be the global leader in AI because they don't even have fake laws that aren't followed. Like here you have, quote, privacy laws that the government doesn't care about.
Yeah.
But they're still on the books, right? They're supposed to adhere to them. In China, you have 1.4 billion people as sensors to feed the AI based on all the devices that those 1.4 billion people have. Like that 1.4 billion versus 350 million, your big data set and your AI is going to be much more robust in addition to the non-privacy laws for them to be the leader in AI. So to blame an individual on helping develop AI I think you have to factor that in. Like, I think I've said this whole year that 2025 is probably the last year that the more intelligent humans are going to be more capable than AI. I think next year, that's it.
Wow.
Like, we're done.
That's quite a statement right there.
Because look how fast. Earlier this year, we could be like, oh, that's pretty cool AI. Or like last year was deep fakes. Oh, that's pretty cool. A couple years ago. And then nowadays, you watch some of these AI deep fakes, you can't even tell.
I can't tell.
You can't tell, right?
Yeah,
I can't tell. It's so outlandish.
It's so
like
good,
a lot of the interactions with you see a lot of them in the
Sora,
in the
right?
feeds.
Yeah, Sora 2 videos.
No, the animals interacting with
yeah.
each other. It's like, holy crap. But then you're like, that's probably AI. I mean, on some of these, if it's not for an AI label, you don't know if it's true or not. And so apply that to every human sense: vision, hearing, smell, touch, taste. You're not going to know what's reality and what's not.
That's crazy.
So how do we deal with that? So it's not, I don't want to be a defender of Teal. I'm just telling you, I want to be full disclosure of my brief encounters, relationships, very like minuscule compared to like, right, him. He would probably remember a few of them. I've been to a fundraiser that he held for Chris Kobach, who's currently the Attorney General in Kansas. That's another engagement interaction that I had with him. So in the collective, like he'll recognize my name, but like we're not close. But on the AI front, I just don't know how we deal with it.
I don't either. I don't think regulation's going to help if we're being honest.
Regulation won't help because like, gun laws, right? Oh, we're going to create more gun laws. Yeah, if people want to use their gun, they're going to use their gun.
Yeah.
Particularly if I need to use it for my defense, right? Same thing with AI or any other human endeavor. If crime is committed always. So criminals are going to use AI to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a cat and mouse game. It's going to get messy. It's going to be easy to exterminate humanity at scale if that's what somebody's AI agent wants to do.
Yeah, they just want to spit propaganda all day, right?
No, I'm talking like physiological like
Really?
assassination.
How so?
Destruction. I mean, take big data, merge it with AI, and then deploy it onto drone swarms that are kinetically
shit.
capable.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I was thinking more like just posting you thousands of times a day on different social media platforms with fake propaganda, but
What mechanism stops somebody from, like, as soon as you open, you know those little mini drones?
yeah.
Like, how many, like, let me see here. Is there a ventilator in here?
Yeah, right there, I think.
How big is the smallest hole?
You could fit a drone in that.
Half
for
inch?
Sure. Yeah.
Imagine you just, in the ventilation
Yeah.
system,
That's already been
deploy
documented.
a swarm
Yeah.
of drones with lethal capability on it. And while we're talking here, we get Charlie Kirked.
It's very easy to assassinate someone, I feel like, if you want to make that happen. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of it these days.
And then the easiest way to identify where the individual is through this. It's already, you already know. You can easily find out who the target is. We're sitting here, deploy the capability, boom, and it's right here, me,
Yeah.
through the facial recognition.
It's nuts.
So,
I'm filming at Charlie's event in a couple weeks. I wonder what the atmosphere is going to be like this year.
at Turning Point?
Yeah,
You're going down there?
America Fest. I filmed there every year.
Oh, wow. Were you there last year?
I was. Were you there?
I was there, yeah.
Oh, you didn't see me filming there?
I guess I didn't.
Okay.
I was there.
Go to Media Row
I
this
was
year.
there.
If you
I
go.
was, I did, not Patrick Bet David, but
Sosnick? Adam?
I think Adam was there. The whole crew, everybody except for Patrick was there.
Okay.
At the, was it Suspendables? Not Suspendables.
They were probably on Media Row somewhere.
Yeah, they had like a big booth.
Yeah.
I did a few hits down there. Right now I'm tentative. I'm not sure if I'm heading out there.
A lot of people are on the fence this
Sure,
year.
one.
A lot of changes at that company, a lot of uneasiness, a lot of infighting on the right. Tim Pool and Candace are going at it right now. I don't know how it's going to be this
Before
year.
we go into that, should we do Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, let's do Vayner, then we'll go into Candace.
Yeah, so
How did you meet Gary Vee?
yeah, so Gary Vee, in 2010, I finished what's called the Special Forces Qualification Course. And for the Q-tards out there, I'm gonna say this. It's actually called the Q course for short. And there you learn how to conduct, especially as an officer, you're taught how to run a 12-man team, to be able to go into a country, infiltrate. There's 7, and then the key mission is to conduct what's called unconventional warfare. 7 phases. You plan. I won't go into the details of the 7 phases, but I'll just put it this way: that you're taught how to deploy on behalf of the United States to go into a foreign country to then work with a indigenous force, not in power, train, advise, equip, and assist them to then be in a position to overthrow their government that is not friendly to U.S. interests. Kind of like what we did with the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan when you were like 4 years old.
I don't know what that is.
So
I never heard of
after
that.
9/11, you heard of 9/11.
I heard of 9/11. Okay, I'm not that young. I don't remember it though. I was 4 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're 4.
Yeah.
So I'm out.
Oh, gotta get you another one,
I gotta get me this
man.
before we get to Gary V.
Gary V, Edison, New Jersey. Always like my New Jerseyans.
All right, so I finished the Q course. Now I'm newly minted as a Green Beret. I think I'm the fucking baddest motherfucker in the world, right?
Yep.
I got my Green Beret. I'm a Special Forces officer. Nothing touches me. Best thing since sliced bread.
Yep.
Totally cocky and arrogant, right? By the way, I'm the most humble human to ever walk the face of the earth. So with that swagger and attitude, I'm thinking to myself, and I was in the National Guard, so like although the training is all the same and deployments are the same, when you're not in that deployment cycle, you're a civilian pretty much, right? Except
Yeah.
for that 1 week in a month. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, what do I want to do? I want to kind of get in the entrepreneur, network, figure out what's going on in that space. So you heard of Inc.
Inc.
500?
magazine, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Inc. 500, 5,000 has the annual
Yep.
conference. And that year, I think it was 2010, yeah, they had it in D.C.
Okay.
And so I signed up. I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. For me at the time, it was like a couple thousand.
Damn, that's a
To
lot
attend the
for a
event.
conference.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, might as well. So I attend the event, and I'm just hanging out, networking. I see somebody, and he comes up to me, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Ivan Raiklin. I told him pretty much what I said, that just finished, just graduated. I'm a Green Beret now, and just looking at doing business to see what the opportunities are, just figure out, just path forward. And he's like, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I do wine stuff. I do wine commercials, basically.
Wine library, right?
Yeah, Wine Library TV. I'm like, that's pretty gay. Sounds pretty gay. I'm like, okay, cool. That's pretty cool. I was like, what kind of stuff do you do? He's like, yeah, but I'm also doing like a social media company, advertising agency. I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty gay too.
VaynerX, one of the biggest agencies in the world.
So again, I know nothing about the space, right?
No.
I know nothing about anybody, and that's why I'm there, to figure out like who's who and who's like.
Was he big at the time? I don't even know.
2010, right?
2010. He was just like coming on the scene then, I think.
I think he was just starting Vayner Media.
Yeah.
So before we get to that, it was like, so I'm like, okay, Gary Vaynerchuk. Oh, interesting. What was that? Eastern European or something? It was like, yeah, it's Belarusian. And so I bust out, started speaking in Russian with him. I was like, oh, вы из Беларуси? Откуда? С какого города? And I started talking to him, asking him in Russian. He's like, we're in America. I speak English in America. I'm like, whoa, okay, 3 strikes, you're out, I guess. I got to be careful. All right, on the show. Right. You got a gay ass company. You're working on something gay ass. And now you're going to be all pissed off that you're not even going to respond to me in Russian? Okay. That's kind of like being a cuck. So I move on. Obviously he's pissed. And we're sitting I think we were sitting at the same table at like the event.
That's even worse.
And then I'm like, a few years later, just the name keeps coming up on social media, on all the different socials. I hear Vaynerchuk. I'm like, man, that name rings a bell. I think I shitted on someone a few years ago at this Inc. conference with that name. And so I started doing some research. So I do a little bit of research, started to analyze. I'm like, oh shit, I think that's the guy. And so I started watching some videos. I'm like, yeah, it's just some punk. He just aggrandizing, personal marketing. To me, it didn't make any sense. Nothing made sense. And what changed my mindset about Gary Vaynerchuk was one video. Now, I read his books. I read like all the books, all that stuff. What really got me to respecting what he was doing and working on is his video, 1 is greater than 0. Have you seen that?
No.
That is fucking powerful. And I apply that to my lifestyle as well.
Wow.
And here's the crux of it. It's 3 minutes. So I don't know if you can throw it in here.
Maybe not the whole thing, but parts of it.
So it's 1 is greater than 0, and it essentially shows his rise based on his grinding every day. 1 is greater than 0, meaning 1 view is better than 0 views.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, I'd rather have a deep 15-minute discussion with those people that supported me at the very beginning, or like he talks about, I'd rather have depth rather than like breadth. You know, because when you're breadth, you're stretching yourself out.
Yeah,
in really a thin
quality
layer.
over quantity.
Right. You got quantity versus quality. And so he said, I'd rather than going on a CNN or Fox, or he talks about like really big shows and programs, sometimes he's like, no, I'm not going to do those. I'd rather do a 20-minute show on some small niche podcast. It's exactly what we're doing right here.
Yeah.
I'd rather do a full length, no time limit, just go into as much detail so that you can draw my 25 years experience in the deep state, if you will, as an insider to expose it all, as opposed to a 5, 10, 20-second clip soundbite for some chump criminal news network, MSLSD, faux news, Washington Compost hit, right? New woke slimes. And the reason why I call them that, because they're shit.
Yeah.
They're absolute fucking garbage that have manipulated and lied to America. And like, I can call it out because I've been in the system. If I can't call them out, like there's literally very few people that can say and call their bluff. It's all predicated on fucking bullshit. So going back to Gary V. When I saw that video where he says like, I did the 15s and the 69 and the 84 views and the 78 views and the 123s day in and day out, because he was doing the interviews like with 10 views, 100 views, right? 25 views. And he's not an overnight success.
Yeah.
He's been grinding for years, but he jumped into YouTube when like no one heard of YouTube when he started his channel. So he created a niche and totally dominated on it, which leads me to another reference I want to talk about. That video, 1 is greater than 0, and then Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1.
That's a good book.
I got a signed copy when I went and had that meeting with him in August of 2017.
It's a great book. I read that one years ago.
0 to 1. Like, you don't want competition. You want to fucking dominate, okay? Total domination, monopoly style.
Yep.
That's what every entrepreneur wants, right? It's the consumers and the government, et cetera, that want to limit and stifle that, which I agree, it's good for the government to come in and sometimes get in the way of destructive capitalism, right? Like the jabs, as one example. And so I guess the moral of the story here is kind of know where you're going into, because I just totally shit all over literally one of the best like branding entrepreneurs of our time, right? Of our era. Like that guy's very successful. He's got like the biggest marketing agency that no one's ever heard of in mainstream.
Yeah, no, he's got some huge clients
right?
with that agency.
And so, but I think I recovered because since then I bumped into him at different events. And
does he remember you?
I'm not sure if he'd remember me, but I did go to his offices for an event where I talked to him briefly. Like I'm not like close with him. I would be surprised if he remembers my name, to be honest. But I bumped into him at his VaynerX in Manhattan a few years back. It was a while ago now. And then Social Media Marketing World I went to.
Heard about.
And Michael Stelzner runs that. I actually, every once in a while, somebody like reminds me about him. I'll text him. He'll still respond to me. Michael Stelzner. So, like, I have this unique, eclectic, like, how many people in government have this, like the big tech, the social media. Like I was involved in Periscope at the first Periscope Community Summit in Manhattan.
Wow.
When what's the other one? The this is before your freaking time.
Periscope. I heard of Periscope.
So I know these people, like the former CEO of Periscope, right? Back in the day, he probably remember me. Some of the bigger influencers back then. That these are all mostly before the political hatred has taken place. Like I didn't know what their political affiliation was, business wise, but now it's like.
Well, now the two worlds are they're so intertwined, the tech world and the political world, right?
And so I have these relationships with probably libtards that predate the entire mudslinging, right?
Libtards. Yeah, that's the tech world, though. That's how it used to be, but I think it's changed.
But now it's changed because Elon obviously changed course, and with Jason jumping on board, he's still skeptical, critical. I get it. That's fine. As long as you're like, I'm okay with people that are good faith, critical, and call it out on both sides. If you don't call it out on both sides, then it's like you're a sycophant, and it's like, okay,
I can't respect.
You can do that.
Yeah, I can't respect.
But that means you're. To me, I'm loyal to the truth. And going back to what you said, I've lost a lot of whatever relationships because I value truth over any relationship.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a pretty rare trait.
And so you want to get on my bad side.
Yeah.
You start fucking not acting in good faith.
Damn.
But I mean, you can make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. Like I make mistakes, and I always like if I fuck up, I want to be the first one to correct myself. I want to beat anybody else from noticing that I fucked up. Like that should be the goal. Like that's what we should strive for.
I agree.
In business and relationships and because it's like sometimes I'll accuse somebody that is near and dear to me. I was like, hey man, why the fuck did you leave that or this and that? Like and then they explain, and I don't believe them, and then it's like, oh shit, you were right. I want to be the first one to say like, hey, you know what? I don't apologize often, but I want it to be meaningful when I do apologize because it's sincere. Because if you apologize too often, you're just fucking cowardly, weak, and you're just meek. But if you're legitimately like, you fuck up, the right thing to do is to own it. But you got to own it. But the goal is to own it and identify that you fucked up before anybody else does. Yeah. Other than like the person that you may have aggrieved in that fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people cannot admit they're in the wrong at first like that. You know what I mean?
So that's why every J6er, every single person that fought for 2020 election against the fraud, against the J6 op, everyone that went to jail, like the first thing I do when I first meet or talk to them, I apologize to them. Because I say, I didn't realize it at the time, but I should have, that I kind of forced Nancy Pelosi into running that entrapment.
Wow.
And number two, I apologize that I didn't fight harder to stop you from going to jail. Like, I feel like I'm responsible and should have done more.
Hats off to you, man. I've had a few of them on the show, actually. I had to stop because it was so censored, dude.
Yeah.
It was bad. Like, I had social media accounts deleted. Just even the guy with the horns, what's his name? Dude,
yeah, I know
that
Jake.
one got me nuked. Having him on, I got banned instantly.
Well, you know why, right?
Well, he's like a conspiracy theorist, QAnon,
well, no, it's
allegedly.
The reason why all of this is, if you go back and like critically think, like, why is this censored and this not? Right? Or this and this not?
Timing, right?
What are the things that you've been most censored for? Let's step through
vaccines, J6, 2020 election, and then anything to do with cures of diseases.
Okay. So let's tie it back to money. Vaccines. What happens if you show evidence that it may not be as safe and effective as what the government told you that it was? Who does it hurt?
Big Pharma.
Yep. And how much do they fund everything?
A lot.
So you're basically jeopardizing the business model.
Yeah, you're jeopardizing the advertisers of the platforms. They don't like that.
So
I get it from a business point of view, believe me.
From a business point of view.
Yeah,
but then it's like, again, to me, it's truth over, I don't give a fuck about
I'm the same
else.
way. I want to speak
and that's why, like, I'm not bending a knee, right?
Yeah,
That's why even some people in our ecosystem, the MAGA, whatever, There's some big influencers that I used to communicate with
Mm-hmm.
and have good relationships with. Rather than confronting me, they just don't talk to me.
Mm.
Because they know that the truth is more important to me. And I'm talking about some of these folks that are shilling for other countries now.
Wow.
You can clearly
There's
see
a lot
it.
of that these days. I'm getting hit with a lot of those accusations myself. I don't know how to deal with it.
What should I be aware of?
I'm getting hit with the Israel one, man.
That you're shilling for Israel?
Yeah, every comment is $7,000 because I have on pro-Israel guests.
Every comment? Oh, $7,000.
Yeah, I get hit with the 7,000 every video now. It's crazy. I'm losing thousands of followers every day.
So why do you think they're doing it?
Because I have on guests that are pro-Israel.
But
So they think I'm getting paid or benefiting in some sort of way.
how do you counter that?
Have on pro-Palestinian guests, but the ratio's off. I'm probably like 70-30 right now. So
Why don't you have pro-America guests on?
America
like
First,
me?
I had on Fuentes. I have on you. I have on... Who else is America First? I don't even know.
The way I look at it this way is the only way you can get to truth is an uninhibited First Amendment. Does that make sense? It's like if you're limiting what I can say, that means you limit my ability to get to the truth. In order to get to truth, sometimes you have to do research.
Yeah.
You have to discuss. You have to compare notes. You have to share. But if I tell you, all right, we're gonna have this interview, but you got to shut the fuck up. Go. Don't even laugh. Don't even fucking make a sound. Let's have an interview. Now tell me what you think. Shut the fuck up. That's ridiculous, right? So if you're a First Amendment, you can go ahead and talk. When you're a First Amendment absolutist, that means you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And if you're wrong, and I'm not sensitive by any stretch of the means, I'm going to call you out on it and then bring receipts why you are wrong. And then I'm going to wait and see, you got anything to fucking supersede what I just said?
Right.
Just like in a courtroom, for example. But this is a court of public opinion. But the court of public opinion consists of, let's face it, I got 20 years on most of your audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got an unfair advantage there. But your audience has an unfair advantage on some of the new developments in AI tools, marketing. But I try to stay up. I'm using Grok Pro. I'm using Chat GPT Pro. There's 5 or 6 other agents that I use. So I'm a little bit better than probably almost all boomers, right?
Probably, yeah.
But stuff like the studio setup and stuff. When you compare notes, if I tell you can't talk about a certain thing and then you self-censor, we can't hash it out.
Yeah.
We can't, iron sharpens iron.
No, I feel that. I agree. That's why I'm doing a lot of debates lately, actually. I'm moderating a lot of debates.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you learn a thing or two.
But I got a strike for that, too.
Yeah, but
it's crazy.
When a private individual does that, I just call that fucking coward, gutless fucking turd. When the government does that, I'm fucking gunning for you, okay? When the government tells me what I can say and what I can listen to, we have a fucking problem.
Right, and they're in bed with these
and I'm going to address that problem.
Yeah, they're in bed with these social media platforms now, right?
Yeah.
They're one and the same. They're
if
telling
you're doing it on your own volition, I'm just going to call you out. Like Dan Bongino last week.
Yeah, what happened to him?
He fucking blocked me, right?
What?
On Twitter.
No way. I used to love his podcast, by the way.
So, yeah, great. Exposing a lot of stuff. Truth.
Why'd he block you?
I mean, well, before I answer that, what do you think? If you see somebody blocking somebody you heard me speak, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably not the dumbest guy in the room, right? Would that be fair?
Yeah.
I probably know a little bit about the government. I can probably give some pretty solid advice. We haven't even gotten into the forecasting part, the phases that I talked about, like how do we fix things forward? So if our government at the deputy director of the FBI level doesn't want critical feedback, are they going to be able to see the entire landscape of the problem?
No.
They might not even identify the real problem, even though he knows. Dan and Cash know the deep state better than most people.
When you look at their body language when they get interviewed and how they respond compared to previous interviews, it's night and day.
It's like they're hostages,
It's
right?
night and day.
I mean, do I look like someone fucking controls me?
No. You're loose, you're
It's
laughing,
I just say whatever's off, my
Yeah.
body of lifetime experience to be able to genuinely, through interpersonal skills, right, with IQ, right? Intellectual or EQ, excuse me, IQ and EQ.
Yep.
To be able to respond to you, right?
Yeah, they look tense. They're
and notice how I pause there because I'm paying attention to your nonverbals too, because a lot of times nonverbals are faster than what your brain can communicate and say, and they're just tense, right?
Very.
And what did they say on Maria Bartiromo's show on Fox News? Because they're told they can only go on Fox News, right, and be cosplaying over there along with Pam Bondi as a co-host. All they do is say that, oh, it's coming. Just wait for it. It's coming. Guess what, there's the trust me, bro factor that is already expired. There's the waiting. You've been in the position 10 months. You haven't even done the fucking simple shit. The simple shit. I'll remind you what the simple shit is, Cash. Dan. Remember those whistleblowers from the FBI? The Garrett O'Boyles, the Steve Friends. Even if you don't like how he talks, Kyle Seraphin, etc. They fucking stood their ground. How about you elevate them to the most senior positions in the very FBI so that you have a layer of protection if you're going to fucking clean house. And oh, by the way, last I checked, you wanted to raise down to the ground the FBI headquarters. Oh, now you're going to upgrade him to the Ronald Reagan building a couple blocks down the road and pat him on the back? And we have a problem. I was excited that Cash and Dan were going to be in those
so
positions.
Pumped.
And then
I'm never going to fall
a
for
week
it again.
into it, 2 weeks into it, fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Personnel is policy. The very first thing that all of these people should have done, and they can still do now. Like tomorrow they can wake up and say, oh, you know what? Fuck. They need to wipe out every single person that is vaccinated in this government.
What a statement.
Fucking wipe them all out. Exterminate them.
You think it's that bad?
Yeah.
Being vaccinated?
Because what is that? That is the number one litmus test of your mettle as an American citizen these last 5 fucking years.
What about the forced ones when you had a job?
I'm going to repeat myself. If you got the fucking vax in this government, you do not belong in my government. Full stop.
Damn.
Okay? Now, I do give mercy for those that were injured, that were forced and injured by the jab. Because now you're going to be able to explain to everyone else how you fucked up.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
At least admit you fucked up, because some people are still denying
And if you disagree with me, you're a fucking extremist.
There's too much proof.
Here's why. You were not a critical thinker. You caved to the prevailing narrative, bullshit. And you okay, I get it. Some people are like, I made the wrong decision. Dan Bongino took the fucking jab, okay?
Did he?
He doesn't belong in my government.
Wow, I did not know that.
Okay? That's how I feel, because those that were critical thinkers, first they were critical thinkers and refused at first, right? 2, they withstood the tyranny of the 4-year Biden criminal syndicate that tried to force these government officials into the jab. They lost families, fortune, et cetera, et cetera. They've already proven up. That's all the resume that I need.
Would you apply that to the highest level, though? Because
I would.
Big guy got it, too.
I would.
So even the president. I couldn't believe he got it. He got it pretty late, too. The last round I saw a few months ago or whatever.
He's proving himself to be a big pharma protector shill.
I wonder if he actually got it. You think he did? Or you think he just
boasts
said he did?
about it, and his Truth Socials, he boasts about it.
Wow. That's crazy to me, because I've had Trump Jr. on the show, and I'd find it hard to believe, but who knows? Maybe he actually got it.
Tell me how, disagree with me.
I don't see Trump Jr. getting it. I don't know if he said he got it, but if he's anything like his father, it's just hard to believe for me, you know?
Before, I gave a couple years of grace. At this point, my patience is over. There's no more grace.
Wow. You were a big supporter of him, right?
No, I'm talking about on the jab issue.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about
Not
Trump.
overall.
Okay.
I'm not saying overall. It's just, the last few months, it's been betrayal after betrayal. He goes after, let me go through the list. Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, the largest DNA mutilation distribution company on the planet. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? The CDC's own website talks about how they How many Pfizer jabs resulted in? I mean, we're talking about 30,000+ people slaughtered. And that's a factor of potentially only 1% based. If you look at the vaccine adverse events reporting system on CDC's website.
What about it?
It lists who died as a result of a jab. And it's a 31-year database, 32, 33 at this point, I think. And when you look at it and you just search for not injuries or adverse events, you look at deaths as a result of jabs that were processed through the system. There's 38,000 deaths that have resulted as a result of the COVID jabs, which accounts for over 50% of all vaccines of every category for 33 years.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Guess what? What happened when I would screenshot and screen video the CDC's own data and post it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, that got taken down.
Or not YouTube, but on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all of it.
Censored.
It's the government's own fucking data.
They want the plausible deniability that they published it, but they just don't want it reaching the masses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you look at that, and you look at a Harvard study that was done that says the CDC's the vaccine adverse events reporting system only addresses 1%, documents 1%, because like most people don't file it if there's a death or an injury. So if you do a multiple of 100, what's 38,000 times 100?
Is that
3.8 million?
3.8, yeah.
Let's just say it's not 100. The multiple's 50. That's still what?
2 million.
1.9. And so we don't know, right? Because they've censored us out of the truth. And so this will probably get censored as well.
Yeah, we'll have to.
That's the problem, is because like I'm citing stuff. It's not like Ivan Raiklin spewing bullshit.
Yeah.
We can pull it up. It's the VAERS one database, WONDER database on the just look up on search, vaccine adverse event reporting system, and then look at the data yourself. And then people are gonna be like, well, that's fake, that's false. Well, then show me that it's fake. What better data can you use than that? The CDC's own data. It's ridiculous. So, on that note, why would anyone that's America First or MAGA endorse a Democrat COVID criminal that slaughtered thousands of elderly that they admitted that they slaughtered as governor of New York to be the mayor of New York City, Andrew Cuomo? That's a fucking total betrayal.
He got smoked in the last race, so.
Why would Trump endorse him, Cuomo? That to me is a total betrayal.
What was the other option? I guess Adams? Eric Adams?
Sliwa.
Oh, wait, yeah, governor.
The Republican.
Yeah.
There was a Republican. There was the communist that won. And then there was the Democrat turned independent COVID fucking criminal. Who did Miriam Adelson tell Susie Wiles to tell Donald Trump to endorse? The Democrat COVID criminal.
You think Trump's following Adelson's orders like that?
Let's go through the indicators.
Bring in the facts, the receipts.
Let's go through some of the indicators.
She is the biggest donor, right?
There you go. Let's start with that. She's the biggest donor to the Trump campaign and PACs, affiliated PACs, right? Number 2, Elon Musk in the last cycle.
She donated to Elon?
No, I'm talking about to Trump.
Oh, okay.
Because Elon donated a bunch, right?
Yeah.
So after Miriam, it's Elon, right?
Right.
So what happened on May 31st?
May 31st.
Miriam Adelson flicked out Elon Musk out of the White House, right? Or who did? Sergio Gore, supposedly, the media says. You think Sergio Gore... Do you think that if Miriam Adelson and Susie Wiles, the chief of staff, and Donald Trump wanted to keep Elon Musk in the fold and veto the head of personnel, Sergio Gore, that they would have done it?
They could have. They had the power.
Did they?
No.
There's another indicator, okay? Next indicator is who was on Bibi Netanyahu's 2020 re-election campaign in Israel initially. One individual.
Was it her?
Susie Wiles, the current chief of staff for Donald Trump. Did you know that?
No.
What do you think now that you know this?
It's weird. In Israel, she was. It's weird to me.
Like, elaborate. Weird.
Like she was running for a political position in Israel, you're saying?
No, she was a campaign strategic advisor to Bibi Netanyahu's campaign in 2020.
Oh, got it. Okay. I see the connection now.
So for those 7,000 comments, I think I'm going to be able to counter those a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe I won't get as many. Man, I'm getting smoked with those. Absolutely smoked. I don't know how to fight it, man. I can't. It's not like I could prove anything.
Well, let's step through it. So you have Miriam Edelson providing maximum funding, right? Both to Trump and to Benjamin Netanyahu. Like, remember Trump about a month ago said that Miriam Edelson is more loyal to Israel
Yeah, saw that.
than the United States? Mm-hmm. But yet she's the biggest donor to Trump? What do most people think when I say that?
I mean, she donates even more to Israel, right? Logically.
That's one aspect, but like how much... The bottom line question is, like, for those that are voting and wanting to be part of the political process, do you want your American government officials to have loyalties to another country more than your own?
Hell no.
Regardless of what country it is?
No.
I think I would probably say that 90% of the country agrees with you.
Yeah.
If not more. So then, but why is it that way? Because money talks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then how do we decouple from that? But before we do decouple, do the exercise of decoupling, it's if Epstein is a blackmail operation, which I think 100% of your viewers agree with that?
I would say most of them, yeah.
99%?
At this point, yeah. I got a young audience.
So if you agree that is a blackmail operation ran by the Mossad, jointly with the CIA and MI6, or let's just say it's just a Mossad, and they have dirt and blackmail through this scheme of key individuals, leadership, politicians, finance, business, etc., and you're the biggest, most influential donor to Israel, Miriam, do you want those files to be released?
No.
Why?
It would expose a lot.
It removes your leverage, right?
Yeah.
Dude, if I can't blackmail you, like if the blackmail that I have on you is now exposed, you have to deal with the public pressure and the criminality and the civil litigation, etc., right? Mm-hmm. But I no longer have leverage over you because it's now out there publicly if I'm the one holding the blackmail over you, right? So if I'm Miriam, hypothetically, if I'm Miriam Edelson and this Epstein blackmail ring is as such, and I control Bibi Netanyahu through my funding or influence, I don't want the things to be released. And if I also influence financially and policy-wise Donald Trump in the White House, I want to make sure that he doesn't allow the release of those Epstein files. Because then if he does, I'm not going to fund him, I'm not going to fund a Bibi, and everybody loses, right? Within the top tier. Mm-hmm. But the truth gets exposed. So what did I say about truth? Like, I'm loyal to the truth.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about a trillionaire or a president or a prime minister. Okay? So therein lies the problem, because I think most of the MAGA base, America First base, they don't have a relationship. Like, I have deeper relationships than most of the people listening in. Like, I just listed off tons of people that everybody's number, right?
Yeah.
I can fuck with him. Dan Bongino, I can fuck with him, text him all day long until he blocks me on text or Signal or whatever. Same thing with Cash. They can ignore me, but they'll probably still receive the message. They'll have to delete it or ignore it, whatever, mute, block. Or if they don't do that, then I can talk to like a dozen people around them, right? Yeah. You probably have the same ability if you're going to all these events, Turning Point, like
it's a small space.
It's a small space, right?
Circle,
once you're in it. So if Miriam Adelson is doing this, and they have blackmail on certain cabinet level officials that she teed up to be in this cabinet, even if Trump's not in on it, and some of his cabinet is in the Epstein files, is he going to want to release them?
No.
Is Pam Bondi going to want to release them? Is Cash going to want to release them?
Mm-mm.
So therein lies the problem. We're at a pivotal point here. The deadline to release them is December 19th.
Why that date?
That's the 30 days after the legislation was signed in by President Trump, nearly unanimously by the House and Senate. They have until December 19th.
So if it doesn't get released then, it's not getting released, basically, is what you're saying.
Whoa. What makes you think that?
Why is it like that day, you're saying, though?
So Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene's legislation that they promoted and then they voted on it and Trump signed it for the release of the Epstein files had a 30-day window attached to it. That it has to be released within 30 days.
And they sent that on.
That 30-day deadline is December 19th.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So imagine you're, as I explained, hypothetically, you're the president and Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. And you're stuck with the dilemma of, oh shit, we're reviewing these Epstein files and I see this cabinet level official, this mega donor, this oof. What are you going to do?
Probably not going to release it, right? If you're them.
And so how do we force them to release it?
Social media, pressure.
And what does that pressure do politically?
Changes the votes in the next election.
How about we do that sooner?
In the midterms.
How would we do that sooner?
What's sooner than that?
That's where I come into play. So we do it social media and we explain there's a constitutional process called impeachment.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
And so we just had the vote where everyone except for one member of the House voted, except for Clay Higgins, voted for the discharge petition for the release of the Epstein files, and all 100 senators voted. Once they realized that there was 4 Republicans that were going to side with the Democrats, everyone. Because I mean, how do you defend protecting this pedophile ring?
Yeah.
You don't.
You don't. Yeah.
It just doesn't work. I don't care what like blue or red district you're in.
Yep.
Because most of these people aren't pedophiles that are voters.
Yep.
Right? I'd say over 90% of Americans are not pedophiles.
I hope it's that high.
Right?
Yeah.
And so on this topic, I think on December 19th is going to be interesting. My litmus test is if I see one letter redacted in that Epstein file release, fucking unacceptable.
I mean, it's going to happen.
If one fucking letter if there's a black of one letter, that's unacceptable.
It's going to happen. Let's be honest.
I don't give a fuck.
JFK files.
You know what? You know how I compromise? To my 100%. That's why I'm undefeated.
But even, let's say this impeachment gets pulled off. Isn't it going to be the same issue again?
Hold up. We're still talking about it.
Okay. Let me hear it.
The suspense.
You've thought about this. I can tell.
So the House is made up of, devil's in the details on everything to be successful in anything in life, right? So right now the House is made up to where Republicans have a 4-person member majority. So if 4 Republicans side with all Democrats to impeach Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and hell, if they feel as though Donald Trump's behind covering up the Epstein stuff, they may do the same thing for him.
Okay.
But let's just play out Pam Bondi and Kash Patel because they're the ones responsible for releasing it, right?
Yeah.
Particularly Kash. Who do you think would be the 4 Republicans that initially do it? It would be the same ones that just pushed for the legislation, that just had the press conference a few weeks ago. I was just standing right next to him in D.C. during the press conference. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump just shit all over her.
Yep.
She is going to be ending her time as she's going to resign on January 5th. Why doesn't she put a motion forth on day 30 and say, you didn't fucking comply. You shit all over me. You betrayed. I already listed some of the betrayals. You got Burla in there. You endorsed Andrew Cuomo. You fucking no accountability on anybody. So like, there's not like, what's the ROI to the American voter for a Donald Trump? I haven't seen the ROI. I personally haven't. The J6ers got that pardon, so they have an ROI. But for me, the undefeated voter, I haven't seen an ROI yet. So, okay, you're not going to release the biggest blackmail ring that most people agree to. There has to be some accountability. So you're kind of an accessory to the fact, after the fact at this point. And so you got Marjorie and Thomas Massey, because Chris LaCivita, who is the political wing, he heads up the PACs for Trump that receives the Miriam Adelson money to primary Thomas Massey. Why wouldn't he vote to impeach? He's the one that put forth and like pushed for this legislation from the get-go. For him to save face, like it's just a continuation of his fight, right? So now you got to find 2 more. You know that there's still. Remember, Donald Trump was impeached the second time, and 10 Republicans voted in that impeachment.
Yep.
And 2 are still in place.
Which 2?
David Valadao from California.
Okay.
And Dan Newhouse from Washington.
So there's your 2.
And they survived 2 re-elections after they voted to impeach Donald Trump. There's your 4.
What a plan.
And so what about when the rest of the House Republicans sees that the impeachment's inevitable? What do you think the rest of the Republicans do?
Follow suit.
Do they have an option? Are they going to go back to their constituents and say, I'm going to protect pedophiles?
They won't have an option at that point, right?
I don't think they have an option. And people hate me for even saying that this is a possibility. Like, hey, you're going against Trump. I'm like, I'm going for the truth.
Wow. What a plan. So
But I'm not the one to implement it.
Well, you got the connections to implement it, right?
I'm just making First Amendment sounds over here that might be censored.
Yeah. Well, there's been whispers of a potential cash impeachment, so you're not the first one to say that.
So if that happens, who's up next? Andrew Bailey? You heard of him?
I haven't, to be honest.
He's the co-deputy director of the FBI. We'll see how things play out there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But that's December 19th. Let's go to January 3rd. Another like topic. Remember, I talk about like look at all the landscape, figure out who's not doing what, and then be like, I'm the guy. You know how you have tech scout, tech advisors, right, in Silicon Valley because they've been there, done that, and they know the system and how to like plug and play because you got the hustle, you got the drive as a founder, but there's just things that you don't know. Yeah. And you need that guidance and advice. I feel like I'm like the advisor, right? No one's asking for it. I'm just trying to make a better situation. Like truth will create transparency. Transparency creates accountability. Accountability punishes those that deserve it. Okay? Also known as fucking retribution.
The hoodie's coming off.
It's getting warm in here.
Yeah.
It's getting warmed up, baby.
All right, so Jan 3rd.
Jan 3rd,
Let's end
2026.
What's going to happen that day?
So on January 3rd of odd years is when a new Congress comes into play. Right?
Odd years?
Yeah.
26 is an even year, though.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, okay.
But good, you're listening. January 3rd of 2025 was when the new Congress, 119th Congress started. Okay. So Capitol Police Board chairman for that year until January 3rd is the Senate Sergeant at Arms. On January 3rd of 2026, it'll be the House Sergeant at Arms. So right now, if you want to get to the truth of January 6th and expose it all, you got to take all the communications and documents of the senior lawyer of the Capitol Police. His name is Tad DeBias. Remember I said 1,500 people. I got them all. So this guy, Tad DeBias, spelled DiBiase, is, let's see here. He is the most senior U.S. Capitol Police officer that was there before January 6th, on January 6th, after January 6th, and still there to this day. The only one. This is U.S. Legislative Branch, Deep State, #1.
Sounds like a fake name. Tad DeBias.
Thomas Aquinas DeBias is his full name.
Okay. What a name.
Yeah, so the Vice President, J.D. Vance, if you're listening in.
He might be.
guess what you can do? And you probably didn't even know this. You're the president of the Senate. Remember, I'm a lawyer, right? Constitutional law. So as the president of the Senate, you are the one that is the most senior constitutional actor within the U.S. Senate body, meaning you are technically the boss of the Senate Sergeant at Arms. If you decide to take that role and going to the Senate chambers to do that, you can order the chairman of the Capitol Police Board this year till January 3rd of the U.S. Senate, the Senate Sergeant at Arms, Jennifer Hemingway, and tell her, hey, why don't you order the U.S. Capitol Police General Counsel to release everything, all of his communications and all of his work product related to January 6th, before, on, after. Specifically, all the communications with the executive branch, FBI, DOJ, U.S. Attorney's Office, DHS, Metropolitan Police Department, and any communications you may have had with folks like Nancy Pelosi, her family members, her staff, Jamie Raskin, or the J6 committee. When you do that, they're all fucked. Let's just say I may or may not have seen some of that.
Wow.
But we got to go through the legal process to release it.
Wow.
And so then you'll see the Nancy Pelosi Fedsurrection.
Wow. I don't know if he's going to do that, but that sounds crazy.
You see why I'm censored?
Yeah, I could see why.
That's just one little example.
Yeah, you're not afraid to call it anymore.
And so January 6th rolls around, 2026. That's the 5-year mark.
Yeah.
That's for some things, that's a statute of limitations.
Wow, 5 years.
5
Can't believe
years.
It's been 5 years.
And so maybe it is time for American Good Samaritans to help to Kash Patel out once he's dealt with for non-release of the Epstein files, to go ahead and ensure that the rest of his organization follows him out the door.
Bars. Well, it's been 2
And
hours.
then January 17th.
We got more?
This will be it. This will be it.
All right, end on this.
Guess what? Remember the lawfare that was done?
Yeah.
The assassination attempts? The actual assassinations of Charlie Kirk?
Yep.
You think the Democrats are going to stop?
Probably not.
What if they take control over Virginia in the form of the governor and the attorney general and the district attorneys known as Commonwealth attorneys in Northern Virginia? That's where almost the entire cabinet, staff, workers within this administration live or work. So imagine you have a Fannie Willis and Alvin Bragg in Northern Virginia and a Letitia James, the AG in New York, as the attorney general in Virginia.
Oh, God.
And Gavin Newsom times $1 trillion squared as the governor of Virginia.
Oh, my gosh. I would never live there.
That's happening on January 17th.
What?
Heard of John Brennan,
I haven't.
former CIA director?
Okay.
That's behind all of the treason going on and the coup and the color. You saw Kaidi's video went viral.
Which one?
Real Defender 45 about the color revolution last couple days.
I haven't seen that.
She's just like a 3-minute summary of my 40-hour masterclass.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Of the last 11 years.
I'll check it out for sure.
Of what we're going through since 2016. She goes back, but it's basically 2014. The incoming governor of Virginia, Democrat, Abby Spanberger, is
What are these names?
protege.
Spanberg.
Abigail Spanberger is a protege of the former director of the CIA, John Brennan. John Brennan was the guy that ordered drone strikes with Barry Hussein on an American citizen without due process.
In
Just
America?
murked him overseas.
Oh, okay. Wow.
This is the guy that his protege is going to be the governor of Virginia.
Holy crap.
And the attorney general, in text messages released, was calling on basically murking his political Republican opponent, Speaker of the House in Virginia, Richmond, and his children.
Wow.
That's who's going to be the attorney general. So this administration has squandered a year, and now they're fucked, I think, on January 17th.
Jesus.
So you want the solution? Now that we've laid out 2 hours of the problem,
Yeah.
it's easy. Courage. Maximum authority. We have all the evidence. I have the list of the people. It's called the Deep State Target List.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to just action a few people, I mean, Nancy Pelosi, John Brennan, James Comey, Tad DeBias, James Baker, Those are 5 good ones to start with. And then if you're wanting to go full scale, you can go 350. If you want to go to the max, you go about 1,500 people.
Jeez.
Just mass arrests.
There's that many?
By January 17th.
My God.
Otherwise, good luck. I'll just sit back and watch and say, I told you so.
Wow. Dude, thanks for your time. I've only done a few 2-hour podcasts, so that's a compliment.
Did I keep your attention?
You did. You did. I could talk to you for hours. I just got another guest waiting. But
yeah.
Where can people find you, brother?
I'm on Substack, ivanraiklin.substack.com. If you want deep dive analysis, if you're a nerd like I am, and I can kind of lay it out of all these different things that I've talked about with all the names and players. If you want my just daily musings where I, at the end of the day, I'm a shit poster, but I got receipts to shit post back with. That's on X.
Those are the deadliest.
Ivan Raiklin. And you can come see me in person.
Cool.
If you're a trader, good luck. If you're not, I'd be happy to meet, talk. But yeah, Rumble, X, Telegram, Substack. Where else?
Let's do it. Instagram, right? Soon.
Oh, wait. You're going to get me to 1 million on Instagram,
I don't know about
right?
1 million. Let's start with 10K.
I'm already at 10K.
All right, let's start with 25.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with 25. We'll go from there.
Wait, what's yours?
They're 12 mil.
No, but what's the account?
Oh, Sean Mike Kelly. I'll add you as a collaborator.
Sean Mike Kelly.
Yeah, on the YouTube.
Do some reels.
Yeah.
We got to do something explosive, though.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Okay.
See you guys.
Let's go. Castrate.
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the show a lot with the algorithm. Thank you.